ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ಸಲೀಂ, ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಇನ್ ಝೂಯಾಲಜಿ, ಶ್ರೀ ಕೊಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಗೇಶ್ವರರಾವ್ ಗಂಗಯ್ಯ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಕಾಲೇಜು, ಗಂಗಾವತಿ. Dear students, today we are going to discuss one of the important concept of BSc first semester zoology, that is the general characters and classification of the phylum Protozoa. Let's start our topic with the general characters. The first one is habitat and body organization. So habitat means in Kannada we say Vasasthala or Jeevasthala. See, these protozoans, they live in aquatic environment. For example, fresh water or marine water. Aquatic means they live in water. Okay, ಜಲಚರ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Fresh water, nothing but the sweet water. Example, lake, river, ponds, pools, ditches, etc. ಸೊ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನದಿ, ಹಳ್ಳ, ಕೊಳ್ಳಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವಿಸುತ್ತವೆ. ಆರ್ ಮೆರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಮೆರೈನ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸಿ, ಓಷಿಯನ್, ಸಮುದ್ರ, ಸಾಗರಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟಿಕ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ they are dependent on other plants and animal. The famous example is Plasmodium. Okay, so Plasmodium, you know that it is a famous example for a parasitic protozoan. Then the next important general character is body organization. So here you can see that these are the protozoans are simplest, primitive, they are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. So as the word indicate, protozoa, proto means first, okay, and zoa means animals. See here, first in sometimes it is also referred as a primitive. Primitive means they are not well developed. Unicellular means they are made up of single cell, okay, and eukaryote, they have a well developed nucleus. And the level of organization, or you can say the grade of organization in protozoan is protoplasmic grade of organization. Okay, so we can see the protoplasmic grade of organization in case of these protozoans. Okay, I hope these 2 points are clear. Now we'll move to the next important character, that is the body covering shape and locomotion. See, for example, the body of these protozoan, as you can see in the image in the background, there are different examples of protozoans. Okay, see, their body is covered by plasma membrane called pellicle. Okay, so their body is covered by plasma membrane or pellicle, or in some cases the body is naked. It means the single cell is not covered by plasma membrane. And if you look at the body shape, these protozoans have varieties of shape. Say for example, some are spherical, oval, elongated or irregular in shape. Okay, spherical nothing but round or circular, oval egg shaped, elongated andre udda irtave, irregular, for example you can see amoeba. So amoeba is the best example of the animal without a definite shape, or you can say it is irregular in shape. And the important locomotory organelles in case of protozoans are pseudopodia, flagella, cilia. See, pseudopodia, for example, it is present in amoeba. Flagella, it is present in case of euglena. Cilia, it is a locomotory organelle of paramecium. And there are some protozoans that do not have locomotory organelles. For example, Plasmodium vivax. So you know that Plasmodium vivax, it is popularly known as malarial parasite which causes the malaria disease. Okay, so in this animal we don't have any locomotory organelles. Okay, so just I will revise. See, the body is covered by plasma membrane, it is also called pellicle, and in some protozoan the body is naked, and the shape, it may varies from one animal to the another animal. For example, it may be spherical, oval, elongated or irregular in shape in case of amoeba, and the locomotive structures like pseudopodia in amoeba, flagella in case of euglena, cilia in case of paramecium, and in some cases the locomotory organelles are entirely absent. Example, Plasmodium vivax. Next, if you look at the habit, cell structure and nutrition. So these animals, particularly the protozoan, they may be solitary or colonial. Solitary means ಒಂಟೆಯಾಗಿ ಜೀವಿಸುತ್ತವೆ. Colonial means they live in group. Okay, for example, you can take paramecium or amoeba. Next, cell structure. See, there is a presence of one or more nuclei. See, some protozoans, they have only one nucleus, that is called monomorphic. Only one type of nucleus is present, and in case of some protozoans, they have two types of nucleus, that is dimorphic nucleus. That very important in case of paramecium. See, paramecium is the best example of animal. We have dimorphic nucleus, means it has a smaller nucleus called micronucleus and a larger nucleus called macronucleus. So presence of two types of nucleus, small nucleus, micronucleus, large nucleus is called macronucleus. Okay, I hope it is clear. Then nutrition means these animals, how they obtain their food or energy requirement. So they may be holozoic, holophytic, saprozoic or parasitic. See, holozoic nothing but animal like nutrition. Holophytic means they can prepare their own food. Saprozoic means they are dependent on dead and decaying organic matter. So ಸತ್ತು ಹೋದ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊಳೆತು ಹೋದ ಆಹಾರ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಂತಿರ್ತವೆ. They are called saprozoic animals. Parasitic means they are dependent on other animals. Okay. Now we are going to study about different physiological processes. Okay. So till now we studied some of the important morphological characters, and you can say that their habitat, cell structure and nutrition, locomotion, that we studied. Okay, so before going to the digestion and respiration, I just revise once again from the beginning. So we are studying the topic, the general characters and classification of phylum Protozoa. So habitat, they may be aquatic, particularly they may live in fresh water or marine water. Fresh water means sweet water, marine means salt water, example ocean. And some of them are parasite. The best example is Plasmodium. And the body organization, they are simple, primitive, they are made up of single cell, therefore they are called unicellular eukaryotic organism. And the level of organization or grade of organization is protoplasmic grade of organization. It means they have a single cell, that single cell perform all the activities of life. Okay. Then next, their body covering, the body is covered by plasma membrane, it is also called pellicle. And in some animal the body is naked, and they have different shapes, spherical, oval, elongated, and some are irregular in shape like amoeba. And locomotory organelles include pseudopodia, flagella, cilia, or in some cases the locomotory organelles are entirely absent. Then coming to the habit, they may be solitary or colonial, and they may have monomorphic or dimorphic nucleus. See, monomorphic nucleus, example amoeba. Dimorphic nucleus, the very important example is paramecium. Okay, paramecium is best example for dimorphic nucleus. And nutrition, it is four types: holozoic, holophytic, saprozoic or parasitic. Then now coming to the physiological process like digestion and respiration and osmoregulation. So you know that what is digestion? The process of conversion of complex food molecules into simple and absorbable form is called digestion. See, in case of protozoan, the digestion takes place inside the cell, therefore it is called intracellular digestion. And where it takes place, particularly in the food vacuole. So food vacuole, it takes place. Okay. Now what is the process of respiration and excretion in protozoan? See, the respiration and excretion takes place by diffusion through the body surface. See, here they don't have lungs. They don't have kidney for excretion. For example, in human we have lungs for respiration and kidneys for removal of nitrogenous waste, that is excretion. But protozoans, you know that they are unicellular organism, they don't have any special organs. So therefore here the body surface plays a very important role in exchange of gases and removal of the waste. Okay, and which process through diffusion. Okay, you know that diffusion, the movement of molecule from higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, next process is osmoregulation. What is the meaning of the word osmoregulation? Means it is the process of maintaining of water and ionic balance. ಸೊ ವಾಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾವು ಏನಂತೀವಿ, ಆಸ್ಮೋ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಮೋ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಫ್ contractile vacuole. You can see here. So contractile vacuole plays a very important role in the osmoregulation. Okay, and these contractile vacuole in case of protozoan they perform excretion also. So you can say dual functions. So one is they balance the water and ions and also removal of nitrogenous waste products. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now we'll move to the next, the reproduction and division of labor. See, in case of protozoan, the reproduction takes place by both asexual method as well as sexual method. The asexual reproduction takes place by binary fission, multiple fission, budding or sporulation. Now what is binary fission? See, for example, if you take amoeba, the single parent cell, it produces the two daughter cell. So bi means two, and so fission means the division. Okay, so fission means the breakdown. So here the single parent breaks and it produces two daughter cells. Multiple fission, so here the parent cell divide and it produces many offsprings. Multiple means many or more. Okay, so if the parent cell produces two daughter cell, binary fission. If the parent cell produces many daughter cell, it is called multiple fission, and it occurs in lower organisms like protozoan, protists, etc. Okay, budding, you know that in case of budding, a small bud like structure develops on the parent body. Initially it is attached to the parent body and later it gets separated. See, for example, I will tell you one example. See, if you look at the monkey, the baby monkeys, they are initially attached to the mother body. Same like that here, a bud like structure is initially attached to the parent body, and when this baby monkey become adult, it gets separated. Same way, this bud like structure is initially attached to the parent body and later it gets separated and develops into a new organism. That method is called budding. Okay, so it is a type of asexual reproduction. And sporulation, the process of formation of spores, and especially it occurs in case of amoeba. Sporulation we see in case of amoeba. Okay. Now the coming to the sexual reproduction. So in case of sexual reproduction, it takes place by the formation of gametes. Gametes, nothing but you know that the male gamete is called sperm and the female gamete is called egg. So egg sperms formation ಆಗ್ತವೆ. And in case of paramecium, it is very important, remember dear students, for the competitive exam, conjugation. So what is conjugation? We are going to study in detail about the reproduction in paramecium in the next classes. So remember, conjugation, it is a type of sexual reproduction. It is exclusively seen in paramecium. So paramecium ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನದಾಗಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಎರಡು ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by four methods: binary fission, multiple fission, budding, sporulation. And sexual reproduction takes place either by gamete formation or conjugation. This conjugation is exclusively seen in paramecium. Now coming to the life cycle, The life cycle involves alternation of generation. Okay, so what is the meaning of alternation of generation? See, alternation of generation nothing but the asexual reproduction alternate with the sexual reproduction. Okay, so ಒಂದು ಸಲ asexual reproduction ಆದರೆ next asexual ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Asexual reproduction followed by sexual reproduction. Again, sexual reproduction is followed by asexual, like this. Asexual, sexual, asexual, sexual, like this. Continuous asexual reproduction will not take place. Continuous sexual reproduction will not take place. Okay, so here one time asexual reproduction, it is followed by the sexual reproduction. That phenomenon is called alternation of generation. A best example you can ask me, plasmodium. So plasmodium is a best example of protozoan showing this type of life cycle. Now coming to the division of labor. See here there is no division of labor in case of protozoans, because there is a single cell, and this one cell or single cell perform all the vital functions of the life. Therefore there is no division of labor in case of protozoans. Okay, I hope this is clear about the general characters and of phylum Protozoa. Now we are going to study the classification of phylum Protozoa. See, the Protozoa, it is classified into mainly 4 important classes. For example, number 1 Rhizopoda, Flagellata, Ciliata and Sporozoa. Okay, so these are the 4 important classes. We are going to study one by one in detail. So take down. So the first one, that is class 1 Rhizopoda. So you can remember the famous example I have shown in this photo. So that is amoeba, and the other members include entamoeba, arcella, difflugia, polystomella. So these are examples of the members of the class Rhizopoda. Now let us study some important characters of the class Rhizopoda. See here, remember the classification of phylum Protozoa is based on locomotory organelles. See, I told you in the beginning. So there are 3 important types of locomotory organelles: pseudopodia, flagella, cilia, and in case of some animal the locomotory organelles are absent. So here the name Rhizopoda was given because here the locomotory organelles in case of these animals are so they are pseudopodia. Okay, so pseudopodia are the locomotory organelles in case of these rhizopods, and their body is naked and it is not covered by pellicle, and the nutrition is holozoic. And the very important character of Rhizopoda is they have a single nucleus and a single contractile vacuole. ಒಂದೇ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್, ಒಂದೇ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, and body is naked, pellicle ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, and locomotion takes place by pseudopodia, and I have given the examples already. Okay, so this is the diagram of amoeba. Now coming to the class 2 Flagellata. So as the name indicate, ಹೆಸರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, Flagellata means the locomotory structures are flagella. In some cases only one flagella will be there, and in some cases more than one flagella will also be seen. And so here the another important character is their body is covered by elastic pellicle. See, in the Rhizopoda I told you that pellicle is absent, but in case of Flagellata the pellicle is present. And habitat, they may be free living or parasitic. So some are free living animals and some are parasitic also. For example, Euglena, you can say it is an example of free living animal, and parasitic example Leishmania trypanosoma. Okay, so you can see that diagram. So this green color diagram I have shown you, that is example of Euglena, and here you can see the one more diagram which is almost reddish in color. So that is trypanosoma. So the trypanosoma red color ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ diagram, a green color ಇರೋದು Euglena. Okay, next reproduction. The unique type of reproduction in case of Flagellata is longitudinal binary fission. Okay, so longitudinal binary fission takes place in case of Flagellata. So you can ask me one question, sir, what about the Rhizopoda? Illi yav tara reproduction agatandre? So here irregular binary fission takes place. So irregular binary fission is another character of class Rhizopoda. Now we'll move to the examples of class Flagellata. So I have shown. So there are many examples: Euglena, Noctiluca, Giardia, Trichomonas, Trypanosoma, Leishmania. So these are very important protozoans. And dear students, kindly remember the disorders caused by especially Giardia, Trypanosoma, Leishmania. They will ask in for your MSc entrance examination. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ನಂದೊಂದು ಸಜೆಷನ್. Now we'll move to the class number 3, Ciliata. So here the locomotory organelles, as the name indicate, ಹೆಸರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, cilia are the locomotory structures and they have a definite pellicle. And here also the nutrition is holozoic. And in case of these animal, contractile vacuole, nothing but a pair of contractile vacuoles are present. See, in case of Rhizopoda, I told you single contractile vacuole is there and single nucleus. And the beauty of the class Ciliata is they have two contractile vacuole and two nuclei. So one is macronucleus, larger nucleus, and one is micronucleus. See, you can see in the diagram of the diagram shown you the paramecium. Diagram alli ide nodi, you can find two type of nucleus: micronucleus, macronucleus, and also two contractile vacuoles ಇರ್ತವೆ paramecium ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We are going to study in detail in the next classes. Okay, anterior contractile vacuole, posterior contractile vacuole. And just to recall, what is the function of contractile vacuole? So it helps in osmoregulation and excretion. Okay, now coming to the reproduction, very important concept. In case of Ciliata, reproduction, particularly the asexual reproduction, takes place by transverse binary fission. So in case of Flagellata, I told you the asexual reproduction takes place by longitudinal binary fission. But in case of Ciliata, it takes place by transverse. Transverse means horizontal. Don't worry, in detail I am going to explain you about this transverse binary fission in the next video with the diagram. Okay, and as I mentioned, in case of Ciliata, particularly the paramecium, sexual reproduction takes place by conjugation. Okay, so these are the some of the important characters of class Ciliata. And the diagram I have shown in the picture, it is the paramecium, or the paramecium diagram. Now the other examples for class Ciliata include Opalina, Balantidium, Nyctotheres, Verticella. Okay, see dear students, I just want to tell you one more thing. In some textbook they have given one more class. Actually, as per this I have told you 4 classes only: Rhizopoda, Flagellata, Ciliata, Sporozoa anta. According to some authors, they have mentioned one more class, that is Opalinata anta ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. So in that Opalinata class include Opalina. So therefore don't get confused. ಇಲ್ಲಿ Opalina sir Ciliata ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Opalinataದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, so it varies from one author or one scientist to the another scientist. So don't worry. So you can write Opalina in case of Opalinata ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರು correct, Ciliata ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಕೂಡ correct. Now coming to the very important last class, that is fourth one, Sporozoa. So here you can see the diagram behind. It is a RBC where the the parasite Plasmodium vivax is present. See, the important characters of this class Sporozoa include, these are endoparasite. Endoparasite means they live inside the body, and locomotory structures are entirely absent. See, I will revise once again. In case of Rhizopoda, the locomotory structures are pseudopodia. Okay, in case of Flagellata, the locomotory structures are flagella. In case of Ciliata, as the name indicate, cilia are locomotory organelles. In case of Sporozoa, they don't have any locomotory organelles. The locomotory structures are entirely absent. So you can say these are non-motile protozoans. Okay, and contractile vacuoles also absent, and their body is covered by thick pellicle. See, earlier we have elastic pellicle, definite pellicle, but here remember in case of sporozoan they have a thick pellicle because they need protection inside the host body. So, and the life cycle involves alternation of generation, thus asexual reproduction followed by sexual reproduction. And the important examples for sporozoans include monocystis, Gregarina, Plasmodium, Nosema, Schizocystis. I hope you heard this word Nosema. Okay, so Nosema, it causes a sexually transmitted disease. So if you are interested, just once look at that which type of sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection is caused by Nosema. Okay, so this is all about the general characters and classification. Thank you very much for your patience listening. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.